And the bathroom, basically, we want the last things done. In the end, they did. He did get us permits.
Oh, that doesn't sound fun.
Get back to work on that.
Berta. Everything went according to plan, life would be great.
Yeah, there was a lot of good discussion on that last night.
Were you there?
No, I watched it online.
Long meeting.
I was curious about the airport stuff too, so.
Yeah, that turned into quite the deal too.
Did they get somebody to pick one or?
Yeah, they're gonna recommend SkyWest. So United.
That's who, after I went to the meeting, that's who I thought.
All right, good morning, everybody. It is 9 o'clock. This is the meeting of the Codington County Commissioners for Tuesday, February 4th. It is 9 a.m. Let's go ahead and begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. And we'll have Tyler lead us this morning.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Noted, all commissioners are present with the exception of Commissioner Gable, who is zooming in this morning. Just a reminder to turn your cell phones on silent if you would, please, so that they do not disrupt the meeting. Call for public comment. Public comment may be submitted in person or via telephone at 605-882-6248 or by calling 605-882-6297. Number 3 is any conflict of interest items for the commissioners?
No,
None. Number 4, action to approve the February 4th agenda. Do I have a motion?
don't move.
Motion by Schwer, second by Gable. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, action to approve the January 28th.
May I make a note on that before you make a motion? So when the information was given last Tuesday about the Hy-Vee kiosk as far as the 605 Drive, the date was noted as Tuesday, February 17th. It's actually Tuesday, February 18th, which has been corrected in the minutes now, but they were different from what, so if you want to just prove
Okay,
it.
so do we have a motion to?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by McElhaney, second by Gable. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, action to approve a request from Watertown Home Builders Association to serve alcohol to vendors at a private social event at the Codington County Extension Center Complex following the close of the home show event. And Julie is with us this morning.
Yep, there it is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Introduce yourself, so.
Yep, Julie Nealon with the Watertown Area Home Builders Association.
Julie, what's going on? What's the request?
So this is my annual request. We have our annual home show, and then on Saturday, as soon as the home show is done, we just invite our vendors in for a private event, and that's where we would like to serve them, give them the option of serving them alcohol.
What's the date on that?
It would be March 8th.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by McElhaney.
I'll second it.
Second by Schwer. Any discussion?
Who's
It's been a
the-
good event. I've been there, not for the evening part of it, but I know that in the past, it's been monitored very closely and you guys do a good job. There's never been any issues that I know
Is there a facility in town that's shifting their?
No, but it's just, we're just serving. We're not selling. We're just serving a few drinks to our,
Yep.
to our vendors.
For they don't need the license just to serve it.
Okay.
Any more discussion? Commissioner Schwer?
No,
Nope.
that answers that. I was just questioning, just at that too, so.
Okay, we'll go ahead and vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
show.
Julie.
All right.
Thank you very
Good luck.
much.
Thank you.
Have you got all the booths filled up?
We do.
Good.
Okay. All right, we'll skip down to item number 11. While we anticipate the arrival of the other items here. Action number 11, action to approve a copier purchase for emergency management. Andrew Delgado. Good morning, Andrew.
Morning,
Good
Andrew.
Morning, Andy.
So in the later part of last year, reached out to Office Peeps, to try to get a copier printer. Based on what they had and kind of what I was looking for, I mean, it was gonna be a little bit steep, but they said that they'd keep an eye out for a used model for us, and that one did come up. I guess a little bit of background, kind of looking, well, I'll just hop into it. So the printer that's available, it has a purchase price of $3,400. In speaking a little bit more with Office Peeps, they said as configured, this one, if it was to be purchased new, it would be like a $10,000 printer. I mean, it's got like, it's refurbished. It has 50,000 copies on it. He said that he's seen these ones like north of a million copies. So it's a good printer. It should last us for a long time. So yeah, just requesting to I mean, there's space in our budget for it. Again, total purchase price 3,400 for a printer.
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve by Commissioner McElhaney, second by Commissioner Gable. Discussion. I guess the question that I would have is, you know, $3,400. We've talked about this and I'm okay with it, but it seems like a lot of money for a printer.
Sure.
So tell me, why do we need a $3,400 printer?
Sure. So there's a printer that's out at our search and rescue building that is basically no longer supported. And also Sherry's printer is going down. This one would essentially replace, you know, both printers in our office. It's more capable than like what either of them individually would be, and it would.
Is this just a printer? Is it a
Okay,
copy machine? Is
sorry.
it-
Yeah, so it's a printer and copier. It'll do like scan the email and file and
Okay.
like just basically, I don't know, all of those things that we would want it to do, and or other conveniences that, you know, our existing machines don't offer.
I might add, it's the same as I have in my back office if you want to take a look at it. Is there any warranty that follows this, or do you get like a service agreement? So when anything happens, they just come in and they.
I have the option to do the service agreement with it as well.
Any more discussion? Is this a budgeted item?
There's space in our budget for it.
Okay.
Like I said, it was late last year when it came up, so I didn't specifically earmark money for this, but we'll have room.
Okay.
You look like you want to say something.
No, I'm thinking it's okay if we, if it's replacing two and we can get it where we have service, you know, to back it up, because it is used. I don't know. It's something we need.
Is this,
Budget.
okay, yep,
I
I'm
think
good with
it's
that.
fine.
All right, let's go ahead and vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
All right, let's back up to number 8, action to advertise and hire a full-time administrative support position in the treasurer's office. Yep, we can do that. Let's go back up to number 7. Yeah, good morning, Jody.
Morning, Jody.
Morning, Jody.
Feels like a Monday again. All right, well, we just had this weekend a burger battle, our 4-H burger battle for the first time for the northeast corner of the state. We had 5 teams registered. Of course, 3 teams were sick with all the illness going around, so we had 2, and then some of our colleagues started making some burgers too, but we did not get them judged with that. We worked with Madison Cordova of the regional office, and she provided youth livestock literacy about beef, along with some colleagues from SDSU were up for that too. After that night, we offered some tickets to the Shamrocks. I worked with the Shamrocks to have a little 4-H section, so we did that on Saturday night and offered some little handouts about with 4-H and hockey pucks. So, our farm show prep is underway for the 4-H leaders 3 lunch counters. We could still use a few more volunteers to help with the lunch counter. A big thank you to Patty Sperry, Karen Weber, and Caitlin Bach for chairing the lunch counters and making sure we have everything ready. 4-H youth are invited to join in the Youth Livestock Literacy Egg Expedition at the Watertown Farm Show, which will be February 12th through the 15th from 10 to 4. This is open to all youth who need to complete their youth livestock literacy requirement to show livestock in 4-H. Youth will learn about livestock by visiting booths and exploring the farm show. So they got to go through so many booths, and we've worked with some of the vendors to have the kids come to them. They can register by scanning the QR code at Watertown Radio booth to start, or they'll pick up papers at the office to do that. Maps will be available at our office also, so they can help scavenger through the farm show. A Northeast 4-H Cap Show will be held at the conclusion of the farm show on Saturday, February 15th at noon. It's open to all the Northeast South Dakota counties. And then shooting sports going strong with air pistol and air rifle with 16 kids. BB gun has 30 kids and archery with 53. Big thank you to our shooting sports volunteers. And we plan to have a spaghetti feed on Sunday, March 16th at the extension office from 11 to 2. We held our first ever last year. It was really good, so we're going to do that again for fundraising for that. We also have an intent of holding a raffle, and then will share that with you for next week. I visit with Brenda. So we're working on a raffle. I will be submitting that to the state and the city also.
Good.
So,
All right.
any
Anybody
questions?
have any questions?
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.
Yep, thanks, Jody.
Thank you, Jody.
See you at the farm show.
All right. Let's go ahead and Natalie is here now, so let's go ahead and bring her up. Action to advertise and hire a full-time administrative support position in the treasurer's office. So item number 8.
Good morning, commissioners.
Morning.
Yeah, so we have an opening in the treasurer's office due to a resignation. And so we'd like to open this up, administrative support position. It's a pay grade 20, starts at $20.31 an hour, up to a range of $26.66.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Commissioner McElhaney. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, commissioners.
Item number 9, action to approve a job description for substance use and justice programs coordinator in the community services office. Sarah Faust. Good morning,
morning.
Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, good morning. So this is a grant funded position to bring on somebody to take on the grant that we received. They will oversee all portions of that grant, including some program development, which would be diversion and reentry programming development, as well as oversee our committee that we have, seeing the substance use steering committee. So the first year will be budgeted under the Reaching Rural grant that we received, and then years 2 and 3 would be covered under the COSUP grant that we received. There's no matching funds or anything like that. It's all covered through the grant.
That is a 3-year grant.
It is a 3-year grant.
Yep.
Right. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Gable,
I'll
Second.
second it.
second by Schwer. Any discussion on this request?
When do you want to fill this? ASAP or?
Yes, as soon as possible. We'll advertise today and then open till filled.
That's the next action.
Okay, that's
This
next.
is a
item,
pay
so-
grade 40 position, which starts at $28.65 per hour or $59,821.20 per year, up to the top range of 78 or 87.92. This is a higher level position in the county with some additional requirements and responsibilities for administration and overall management oversight within that. And we're looking for somebody with a minimum of bachelor's degree.
And I know we talked about this last week about where we're gonna put this person.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
shift anybody around or shake something loose or?
We're looking at our lease is up so timing works out. We are going to have to get creative for a few months, but we're looking at some other space options so that we haven't magically had anything up here.
Get creative.
We will have to be creative
Okay.
until we can move into a larger space. Where we'll be very friendly. with each other.
They make bunk beds? Do they make bunk desks?
That might be it. Well, we might have to better utilize our closet.
All right.
All right. We have a motion and a second for that. Let's go ahead and vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. All right, this next item ties in with that. So this is action to advertise and hire am I right? that's number 10, right? Action to advertise and hire a full-time substance use and justice programs coordinator position in the community services office.
So
Sarah.
this is just, that was the approving the job description and this is just approving.
Move to
hire.
approve.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by McElhaney. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries as well. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
That brings us down to item number 12, which is action to authorize the chair to sign the South Dakota Department of Transportation applications for highway access permits for the planned jail site.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I think that's probably something I can explain.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Yeah, so I'll make the motion that we authorize you to sign two permits to request access points for the jail site. And this is through the South Dakota Department of Transportation. You can see on your screen what the application looks like. Just to give you an idea of the points we're talking about. So this is off of Highway 212. Of course, I think most people know that that's where the site is located. And you can see there's already one access point that's developed. You know, these are approaches going from Highway 212 across the ditch and into the parcel. One is shared with Discount Seeds, and then the other one, there's another adjacent landowner. And then we'd like to be able to at least have the permission to develop this approach in the west. But that's what we're asking for. We'll see if the DOT approves it. If they do, then we can look at including that in the project, which would be nice to have that secondary access at some point. So anyway, my motion is that we authorize the chair to sign the front page of this, the application form for the county.
Okay, so we have a motion by Gable. We have a second.
Second.
Second by McElhaney. Any more discussion?
One question, Lee. Is the plan to maybe shift that access a little bit to the east to like line it up more?
No, so yeah, Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner.
Yeah, so there is already a kind of an undeveloped approach there. So, and with crossover across Highway 212. So obviously this is of concern to the DOT because they don't want any more than necessary. So the adjacent landowner's already signed. So if we ever had we'd have to negotiate an easement, but he's already signed the application so that, so he's good with, further discussing the easement should the DOT approve the approach, basically. So you can't really, because of all there's other variables, other factors that would make it hard to shift that approach to the east. So we'd have to work an easement with the adjacent property owner to be able to cross that corner of the property.
Right. Any more discussion? Right. Motion is second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Commissioner Gable, for work on that. Item number 13, action to approve abatement applications. Brenda?
Oh, I'm sorry, no abatements and no claims.
No abatements and no claims. It's all right. Let's move down to number 17 then. Action to approve travel requests.
And you have one of those. It is Wheaton Pest Department to travel to a grazing school. They will be presenting at this.
Move to approve.
Motion by Johnson, second by McElhaney. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Brings us down to item number 18, which is public notices. A possible quorum of commissioners could be in attendance at. Does anybody
Mr.
have
Chair, a week from today is when unofficially, but officially, the crop show starts. So that's the part of the farm show. And I don't know, it's possible that there could be a warm out there. But anyway, I'll be out there all day on a week from today, on Monday.
It's at the extension building.
Yeah, normally
So-
it starts with the crop show on Friday, but it's shifted over to Monday now this year, so. And then it'll, really, the show and the exhibits open up on Wednesday? So we'll take up all of next week.
Okay.
I will put that on the as a public notice for next week.
For
for
next
farm
week.
show.
Okay, that's good. Anybody have anything else? All right, let's move down to number 19, old business. Anybody have any old business? Any old business? Number 20, new business. Anybody have any new business?
I do actually. So there are some things we need to determine in regards to the jail bond. It was, a part of it is that you are going to use some of the building fund in order to do some upfront costs. And we need to move that money into a revenue and an expenditure budget, which I have been in contact with Rod Fortin, who is the Director of Department of Legislative Audit, and has explained how to do this process. So we will need to do a formal budget hearing. And that's how we will do it, and then we'll get that money moved over. The question that I need, the answer that I need from you all is, what amount do you want to start out with in that line item? From what I can figure, and I don't know, Lee, you can correct me if I'm wrong, the total amount of the project was 37,240,000. Is that correct?
Sounds right. I don't have it in front of me, but that sounds right.
Okay. And so the amount then of the bond is 29,650,000. So when I did the math on that, the amount that I have come up with is 7,590,000 that would come out of that building fund. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to do that full amount. You can do a lesser amount, and we can do another formal budget hearing at any point in time if those funds start running close. So that's my question, I guess. What would you want me to put for an amount to do that formal budget hearing?
Yeah, Mr. Chair. So let me confer with our consultant on that one. So with Toby Morris, and my guess is if we're likely to use all of that money, then it would make sense just to save work and do it all at once. But if there's but let me talk to him first. And can we put it on the agenda to have do we have to do
Sure.
a
No,
notice?
we can put it on next week, just as a matter of discussion. We don't need to make motions or anything, but just, you can let me know and then we'll start that process. So at that point, we need to advertise for 2 weeks. So it would be looking at that first Tuesday, probably in March, is when we would formally be able
Okay.
to have that hearing to allow
Okay.
enough time for publication.
So-
So
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just
Go ahead.
for the notice, does that notice need to have that amount with it? Or just the notice that we're going to have a budget hearing? Because
that is a question I was actually going to reach out to Rod if we need to
Okay.
specifically mention it. I've seen both ways, so there may have been some change in legislation, so that I will get that determined as well, and I will let you know if we need to.
I'll get with Toby ASAP on that one then, just to make sure, but
Put it on the agenda for next week.
Yes, I'll put that on for next week, just as a matter of discussion. Like I said, we don't need to have a motion or anything on it, just
Okay.
some direction.
Sounds good. Thank you, Commissioner Gable.
Mhm.
All right, let's move down to the open, number 31, public comments. Are there any public comments? Steve? Morning.
Good morning. I'm approaching you because our camping system had opened up last week, Saturday. I had a discussion yesterday with our developers on that system. We had a little glitch come Saturday. It was supposed to open up at midnight. It didn't actually get opened until after 8 o'clock. And there was a little bit of glitches. So after the discussion yesterday, from now on proceeding, we're going to make sure and double check the day or two before the system is what they suggested. I mean, they are the ones that suggested we should probably do that. They had noticed. We had contacted them, and that's what we're coming up with. So I have to apologize for those who waited up till midnight to make their reservations and so that. So, but it seems to be working right now. So.
You may have got a complaint or two off that.
I had to shut my phone off. I didn't have no calls, but I had some text messages and then emails that come through, so.
But it's up and running now.
It is up and running, yes.
Okay, good.
All right.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Steve.
Thank you, Steve.
Any more public comments? All right, let's move down to commissioner comments. Commissioners? Commissioner Johnson.
Mr. Chair, I've got, I'm the liaison to the legislative body and I don't know, do all of you get the Capitol Watch?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to share with you the fact that take some time. I think as it stands right now, I think there's 30 Senate bills that are laying out there that affect the county.
Mhm.
And there's 20 House bills. And the Capitol Watch instrument does a good job of giving you a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a microscope that they want you to watch. And then if you have some input to any of these, they go a step-by-step process of contacting those committee members or your senator or representative, whoever it is. Now, if you go to those lists of people that are on it, I know this group of people right here know a lot of people. I know myself, I know several of the legislators out there and don't hesitate to give them a holler. Now, when you give them a holler, I found out a long time ago, you don't have to write a manuscript because they got so much stuff coming at them. It's just like drinking out of a fire hose. You know, if you got a comment to make it in a sentence or two. You know, just say, you know, we would appreciate your vote on this item, or we would appreciate you voting against this item, and this is my reason. And make it very simple, and you'll get more bang out of the buck doing it that way than if you go on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
So make it very, very
I think we've
explicit.
all contacted legislators before,
Yeah.
so.
And one of the things I know that's probably should be interested in is the 911 funding.
Yep.
You know, that's going to sunset here and they're trying to change that so that it won't go back to the dollar amount it was prior to the legislation last year.
That is Senate Bill 37. It's made its way through the Senate, passed the Senate Judiciary Committee on a vote of 6-1. It did pass the Senate floor on a vote of 33-2, and now it is currently scheduled for House Judiciary. So that's the next group that it has to make its way through before it finally gets to the House floor for a final vote. That would, as Commissioner Johnson just said, that would lift that sunset, which is due to go into effect on July 1st of 2026 for the 911 funding. As you know, we had legislation, House Bill 1092 last year, which increased the 911 surcharge from $1.25 up to $2. And that generated about just under $8 million annually for the state of South Dakota for 911. So we're looking to get that lifted so that we can continue that source of revenue funds for the 911 system in South Dakota. So right now it's looking strong, but we still have a couple hurdles to get through, as you mentioned, Commissioner Johnson, and that's the House side. So we would appreciate the support on that. So
You bet. And one nice thing about that Capitol Watch, it'll tell you exactly where these bills are.
Mhm.
You know, are they in committee or have they gone through the House or the Senate or whatever? And so it give you maybe a little bit of perspective. Okay, have I got time to get some comments made or a contact from one of those legislators? So let's help them out, you know?
And-
And I think what we should do sometime if they're coming back to town, I know they will come back home eventually, but they'll come back and have a Cracker Barrel and make certain that we're out there. And if we have some comments to make or some things that we could talk to them about to make certain that we attend them or invite them. If it happens to be, well, I doubt if they're ever here on a Tuesday.
Hmm.
But if they were, we could invite them back to the session here. All right, that's all I got.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. I'd like to just add to that there is an email that comes out to us. I think we probably all get that. That's from the South Dakota counties. It's a weekly legislative update, and that is a Zoom meeting that they do. And you are able to join that Zoom meeting. The next one's going to be tomorrow afternoon at 1:00.
May I?
Excuse me, 1:00 tomorrow afternoon. So I'd encourage you to jump on that meeting too. And
May I add
those
something?
updates.
The Cracker Barrel, the first one, it was on that Saturday of the farm show. There will be one there. I'm not sure about the time, but I did just hear that they will be having one.
Usually pretty early in the morning.
Yeah, I think so.
That's about the 10th or 11th or something.
That would be the 15th,
15th.
right?
15th?
Yep, 15th.
Man, February is gonna be gone here pretty soon, isn't it?
It's Valentine's Day. Don't forget that coming up. All right.
Mr.
All
Chair.
right. Yes, Commissioner Gable.
Just two things. Just last week, there was some discussion about, during this time of the part of the agenda, there was some discussion about the taxes and the effect of the jail bond. Just to make people aware that the jail bond is not affecting taxes yet. So as people probably know, counties tax in arrears. And so the soonest we're likely to see anything from the jail bond is 2026. And we think we've done a pretty decent job of informing people about, the effect on their taxes from that. We kind of estimated on the high end. Hopefully we'll be able to get that down some. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to contact me. And I can give them an idea. We prepared some information as we were going into the vote so the voters could be aware. And I want to thank, there was a group of concerned citizens that did a good job. They set up a website and everything and put some of that information on their website. So I just want to clarify that if you're seeing an increase in taxes now, it's likely due to something like a change in your assessment. But it's not due to the jail bond at this point.
Okay.
And then the other thing, just to let people know what's going on in the process. So you probably got a glance at the site diagram where we were talking about those two approaches. So you can see kind of the idea where we are, how the jail is going to sit on the parcel of land that the county owns off of Highway 212. The architect has just finished up what's called schematic design. So that's the basic layout of the building. So we're reviewing that. That's if people are curious about that, they can probably talk to me or the sheriff, and we can walk you through that. So schematic design is basically how the building's going to flow and what the basic rooms look like. It's not the details of all the mechanics and like the plumbing, the electrical and all that stuff, but it's the first step. So that's where we're at right now in the process, just so people know. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Gable, for clarification on both of those items. Is it possible to put that site assessment on the website for people that want to look at that?
The schematic design, you mean?
Yeah, that road approach.
The approach part, I think it's probably, let me just check with a few folks, but I think that part is probably okay. Yeah.
Okay.
The overall layout of the site. It's just, there's obviously some security concerns when you're talking about the internal layout of the jail. So
I think that would be beneficial for the public to see that.
Yes.
So if there's
Yeah.
any input.
I just got to get around to doing it. So thanks.
Right. Thank you. All right. Any more commissioner comments at all? If not, I do have a need to go into executive session. Is there any other need for executive session besides the one I'm going to request? Okay. Or contractual matters. Item number 2.
Move to go into exec session.
I'll second it.
Motion by Johnson, second by Schwer. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. We are into executive session. No action will follow executive session today. Thank you.